To Ian in the chat, starting right now, my bro. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Granit Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is a preview for Liverpool versus Arsenal. Now, first of all, my apologies to Robbie. Should I kick this guy out of the chat? Archie, if he keeps spamming with LOLs, you know what to do. Time him out. But yeah, to me, lost my flow now. Now, my apologies to Robbie. Normally, me, Robbie, always cover Liverpool versus Arsenal games. It's what we've done since I started the channel, and that won't stop, by the way. However, for me, I felt like this was important to just cover and really tie this off. And I know, you know me, whenever I have guests on, I let them talk most of the time. But I think with this Xhaka thing, I just wanted to tie it off once and for all, because I think moving forward, I'm not going to keep talking about this subject again. And also, to be perfectly frank, I only remembered that Liverpool are playing Arsenal tomorrow earlier today. And I thought to myself, I know Robbie normally needs a little heads up when we're doing these, particularly lately. So Robbie, my bro, I promise I'll get you on the next one. Let's talk about this Granit Xhaka thing once and for all. Obviously, I've gone back and forth with people. I've even had arguments with two Liverpool fans, one of which I used to work with. And, you know, my kind of thought process is very simple. And I can see you guys are still talking about it in the chat room. And it is still a heated debate. That probably won't go away until either Xhaka apologizes or we see what Emre does ahead of Wolves. So I'm not going to lie. The Wolves lineup, I am very intrigued to see what he does. Supposedly, he came out in the press conference today saying that Xhaka is supposedly devastated on the one hand, but then on the other hand, apparently he refuses to apologize to Arsenal fans because he thinks all Arsenal fans are dicks. Which, to be honest with you, I kind of begrudgingly respect. Hear me out, and I put this on Twitter. Part of me respects the stubbornness because I am stubborn to the core. And if I feel like someone has done me wrong, and you're trying to tell me I need to apologize to them, I ain't gonna lie, there'd be a big part that would say, you know what, F you. I ain't apologizing to these dicks. Oh, you see the way they talk to me on Twitter half the time or on Insta half the time, and you want me to, and I completely get that. Here's the thing, though. People are getting twisted. The stuff that happens online and the stuff that, happened at the stadium. All I've had in the last 24 hours is, oh, well, Chig, you don't understand because don't you see the sort of abuse he gets online, and people like talk about his unborn child. Like, apparently you have sick MFers that go on there and start talking about how they want to do. I'm not even going to repeat some of the, you know what? I'm not even going to repeat some of the stuff that they say about his unborn child, right? These are not Arsenal fans. People, come on. No, these are not Arsenal fans. They're barely humans. They're not Arsenal fans. Come on. There's a big difference between people booing as you walk off the pitch and people talking about unborn children. And this is where people are blurring that line, because the argument is, well, how would you like it if you were your family was being abused and this, that, and the other? I had someone tell me, my man should have known me better because we worked together. Know me better. My man was comparing it to, and I'm not going to expose his name, comparing it to cotton picking and stuff like that. And I'm like, bruh, unless I know I wasn't at the game, But to my knowledge, what happened was he was booed. There was nothing about, at least until he started doing that, there was no abuse. No one was talking anything. People just booing him as he was coming off. In fact, to my memory, it was ironic jeers, then boos as he started coming off. And people, I don't know, whether you want to talk about the pace of how he came off the field, I ain't even going to debate into that. But to my knowledge, no one was talking about his family at the football ground. And that's where people didn't understand my argument. Because when I use the Alex Iwobi situation, now here is someone who actually has had abuse at the ground. I've seen it firsthand. I have seen it. That's the difference, people. So then the other argument is, oh, well, you know, all right, well, just because it didn't happen on the ground doesn't mean that, you know, he wasn't dealing with it. I've got news for you. Here's a cold fact of life. When you're in the public eye, and I'm not saying it's right, people target you. Do you think when I run a football channel like I do with this, all right, it does its numbers. I've got a decent following. Thank you to you guys. Do you think that people don't try every single day to try and get a rise out of me? Do you want to see my block list, my block party, as I call it? Every single day. And don't get me wrong, what I experience is a speckle to what these footballers experience. But I'll tell you what, I wish I had half of their dough, half of their protection, every single time something like that happens. So this is why I don't have sympathy. When people ask me, why are you being so cold? Why am I being so cold? This guy should have had the temperament to rise above it. And for all the people, non-Arsenal fans, that have the cheek to try and defend this guy to me, where was all this energy for Alex Iwobi? Where was all this energy for Squadron Mustafi? I used Squadron Mustafi in my example yesterday. This man had nothing to do with what happened at Sheffield United. Go and see the absolute disgusting messages that was put. My man had nothing to do with that. Just go and see the disgusting messages that was put underneath his picture. This is what I'm trying to say. People blur the lines when they don't understand something. I ain't talking about what he experiences on social media, because as people have rightly pointed out, those are clearly not Arsenal fans. If you are one of these idiots that feel like after a loss, you want to go and abuse someone's family, you're not an arse. You're barely human. Let's be real here. So this is why whenever someone blurs that line and doesn't understand the argument of to why I'm taking the view that I'm taking, I have no sympathy for him, because he should be able to handle it. It's not like he's just experienced fame 5 minutes ago. It's not like he is Saka and is 18 years old. You are a full-fledged international, a supposed senior or one of the senior members of that team. You are the captain and you're acting like that. Why people are saying, well, why should he apologize? Because to my knowledge, 60,000 people wasn't booing. Because I know people that were there, from my understanding, 300-400 people were booing. But apparently, he told them to F off, no problem. But the way he acted, the way he conducted himself, he should apologize to the people that didn't just show him that level of disrespect. Not the people who abuse his family, because those are not Arsenal fans. Not the people who are booing, because I've even come on my own channel and said that's not something I do. Listen, there are plenty of Arsenal players I've not liked throughout Arsenal's history. But you best believe, as soon as they put on an Arsenal shirt, you're one of us. We're going into battle. Straight up. Then when you take off the shirt, I'm allowed my opinion. That's always been my attitude. So for those people who keep asking me questions about Xhaka this, Xhaka that. Listen, for me, I said this yesterday. I'd sack him if it was up to me. Do I think that will happen? No. Do I believe he should apologize? Yeah. Although I respect him for not in some ways. Do I believe he should be stripped of the Arsenal captaincy? I'm surprised it ain't happened. In fact, I'm a little worried it ain't already happened. Because that makes me think that they're trying to weather the storm, see how it shakes down. Maybe if Arsenal can pull a miracle victory against Liverpool, then we can approach it again. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Amongst all this mess, we have another game, and that is against Liverpool. of all the teams to play right now, Liverpool would be near the top of the teams I don't want us to play. But we got to do what we got to do. This is a Carabao Cup. This is probably it for us. Let's just call a spade here. Liverpool are an amazing team at the moment. In fact, the only chance we have is if Liverpool don't play their front three or their defense. To be honest, or their midfield. I don't know what to say. I think I can see this being a long night for us. Do you want me to be real? I can see this being a long night for us. And it's difficult because in my mind, part of me is thinking, do you play the best team you possibly can and still lose in a cup competition where I think we can all accept this, that we care the least about? Or do you say to yourself, the Wolves game, unfortunately, this is just the situation we're in. The Wolves game is bigger. It's in the Premier League. Let's prioritize our big players in that and therefore sacrifice what we have to in this particular game. I don't like the word sacrifice in games because that makes you feel like you're going to throw it. But what I mean is prioritizing games. The Wolves game is more important for us than this game. This game is to me is almost a no-win situation because I can't think of a way that we can possibly win this game. And I know you're probably sat there thinking, but hold on, Liverpool have about 15 good players. Yeah, but this is Arsenal. We don't travel away from home at the best of times. Never mind with our second team. So I don't really expect us to do well here. Having said that, I've made some controversial calls. I want you to bear with me. I'm going to talk you through the team. All right? I know you motherfuckers. I know the way you're going to get. You're going to react. So let me show you the team. This is my hopeful 11. Not what Emery will do. My hopeful 11 against Liverpool tomorrow night. All right. Let me show you guys. Let's see what we got. All right. Can you guys see that? Right. So this is my hopeful 11. It kind of is what it is. Let's just talk it through. Let's talk it through. Martinez in goal for me. I wasn't impressed with him last week. I thought the things that I was raving about and I was looking forward to so much, I thought actually he kind of let me down a little bit in that game. But actually here I'm expecting him to do well. I'm expecting him to command his area. I'm expecting him to do all the things necessary to win this game. Having said that, I still don't think it will do much good, but I think distribution will be key. He needs to get back to what got him to the dance, which means if playing the ball out from the back doesn't work, go long. Do what is necessary in order to win. This is my back four, all of whom have not played a lot of football other than Kolasinac. Kolasinac I'm sending him the message that, mate, you are my number 2 left back. Now, there's a real strong argument that could be made that, well, Tierney's not played a lot of football. Why shouldn't he play in this game as well? Yeah, but he's also coming back from injury too. And I just want to nurse him through that period a little bit. So I'm going to start playing Tierney 1 game a week, just at least initially. And therefore, Kolasinac plays in this game for me. All I could say is one time he did have a good game against Liverpool. So let's see what happens. But that's Kolasinac. Rob Holding, if it was up to me, I'd give him the captain's armband. I think given who I've also got in my starting lineup, I think we know who weirdly is going to get the captain's armband, but he would be my captain in this game. I'll be honest, weren't that happy with Rob Holding's performance last time he played. I'm hoping to see better. It is against Liverpool, though, so we'll see. I've got a feeling they put at least a couple of their big guns on the bench. I know that Salah was sort of rushed back in their last game, but I could see someone like Mane, potentially Firmino being on the bench. So, and Origi's going to be a handful. You best believe Origi's a decent backup for them. So I think Holding's going to have to be on his team, as is Mustafi. And fair play to Mustafi. Listen. You guys know I ain't a fan of Mustafi, but he's done pretty well in the times he has played this year. I think that will help in terms of putting him in the shop window for January. I think he's done all right. Seems like playing once a week or once every 2 weeks for Mustafi seems to be a method that's working at the moment. So I say let's keep it going. I think if it's working for Mustafi, it's working for us. Let's see what happens. Hector, this is just part of his rehab. I'm expecting him to have a bit of a torrid time, particularly if Mane does come on. But if he doesn't come on, I say just keep working on his fitness and hopefully he'll get back there. I saw Lee just savage this young man. I don't know why he was crying. I don't know why he was crying during the whole Xhaka thing. The South American dude. I mean, my gosh. That crowd reaction can't be the worst you've seen. It can't be the worst you've seen. But I don't want Torreira playing here. And I'm hoping because we have him playing here, that means Torreira will actually play in his actual position. You never know. You never know. Wishful thinking, but you never know. Mr. Willock, I need to see a lot better performance from you, young man. In fact, I'm going to put Willock there. I think his energy at his very, very best may be key in this game. Because if Liverpool maybe has any part of their team that is a little bit vulnerable, it's their midfield. Particularly if, their first choice, I think, is a little bit vulnerable, but their second choice surely has to be vulnerable. And in which case, I think this guy, with his legs, with his energy, with his determination, could be the difference maker in this game. Now, I did think about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but I thought he had such a terrible game last time. I left his punk ass out. I'll be honest. So I've gone with Smith Rowe. I actually quite like Smith Rowe on the right. I actually thought he played pretty well last week. Actually, did his thing, went unnoticed, but worked very, very hard. And I'd like to see him play in this game. On the flip side, Saka obviously lost his place at the weekend. Thought was unlucky, actually. I thought he's done okay in the role he has played. I think it's just about him getting back into Emre's books, putting in a really good performance here. And I suspect him and him will combine very well. They might end up swapping a lot, so you never know. So I could see that happening. The Fortnite player, you notice, is in my team. I don't know. For me, if you ever see me play Mesut Ozil, start Mesut Ozil, it's not because I rate him. It's because we're paying him £350,000 a week to play Fortnite, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. I'll be honest. So I want his punk ass to start. I heard he's actually travelled to Anfield, so that's a start. Which, knowing Emre in his weirdness, after weeks of ignoring him, he'll make him captain, which makes literally no sense. That is like having a wife that you ignore, and every time you see it, you beat them up, and then on one particular night, you whisk them off, take them for dinner, treat them, give them porn star sex, and then pass out. Like, eh? but that's how Emre will do it, and that's how Emre will treat Mesut Ozil. So I expect him to be captain tomorrow. He wouldn't be my captain, as I said. Holden would be my captain. But let's see what a few weeks off has done with Mesut Ozil. Is he the number 10 that you all romanticize so much? Let's find out. Mesut Ozil starts for me. And Martinelli starts up top. Every time I've seen him, he's done something pretty good, other than last week. But I thought last week was a bad week for everyone. So I won't worry too much about that. I think his movement is very clever. Doesn't have what I would call Lacazette or Aubameyang movement, but he has. This is going to sound bad, but I know what I mean when I say this. He has Giroud movement. You know, Giroud in his heyday had some real good, clever movement where you'd think he'd be standing still and it'd just be hovering here, sometimes here. And that's what he does. He takes up very clever positions. And with those positions, he likes bringing in your runners into play. So I expect that to happen. Maybe Mesut Ozil might have to drop and allow that to happen. So let's see. For me, we're going to get smoked. And I predict 4-1 Liverpool. And you guys know me. When I predict games, I normally like to predict an Arsenal win. I am not hopeful. I will be honest. I'm genuinely not looking forward to this game. But let's see what happens. Anyway, 88 people watching this. Please do smash the like button. I want to see 88 at least likes. Now it's jumped up to 92. So let me know what you think of the team. I'll put it back on the screen shortly. Let me go through some of your comments. Please do stick a like on the video. Rabadam in a bad state. Rabadam, Arsenal are in a bad state. No confidence in the manager. Oh, is Rabadam in the house? Big up to Rabadam. I hope you enjoy. I hope you and VP join myself and Lee doing the wash along. Big up for your donation as well. Good evening to the Earl of Chichester. Arsenal beats Liverpool. No chance. You don't know us, bruv. And let me tell you, you should be watching us for long enough to know that if Arsenal will find that loss, especially we're away from home, we've got no confidence. No chance. Sam, are you actually watching it with us tomorrow? Or do you think Lee will forget you again? Big up to Sam Fogley in the house. If he does watch it with me and Lee, beware Ozil. Beware Mesut Ozil. Because Sam will be coming. Great team. Okay. Sonny's in the house. Big up to Sonny. Been enjoying some of his shows recently. Do check out his YouTube channel. You're almost on 2K now, right? Big up. You've done really well. Really, really well. So he's building it up nicely. Do go check out Sonny Unfiltered. And he really is unfiltered. Arsenal haven't played Liverpool yet, but I know Emre's press conference is going to be BS. Yep, I agree. Big up to Sonny. Mr. Patois is in the house. Also, by the way, guys, because I keep being asked, me and Ola will be doing a 2-4-4 preview tomorrow. No, Thursday. So do check that out. We will be obviously covering Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. And then obviously next week we'll be covering the KSI Logan Paul fight. I still need to ask Kenny Ken may also join us as well. So do check that out if you're obviously a boxing fan or an MMA fan. I'll be covering that on the channel. Giannis, you don't care about this match at all. What, bruh? Thank you. Appreciate it. Kickoff is at 7:30. Yeah, okay. I did see your message a couple of times. No problem. 7:30 it is. I knew you'd like that. But am I lying about that analogy? Am I lying about it? Trust me, Ramadan, you guys will slap us. Sonny, whenever you're ready, my bro. Whenever you're ready. It'd be nice to be a guest for us. It'd be nice to be a guest. I always enjoy guest responsibilities. I could just put my feet up and watch someone else work. So yeah. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'll happily come on. Do go subscribe to him. Almost 2K. He's doing well. But he's not for the faint-hearted, as I'm sure he will tell you himself. The fans swearing and booing in front of kids is okay. I think both sides are wrong. Need to shut up, me. I know, Boots, don't get me wrong, mate. I did watch my own show back. I did see you disagree with a lot of the things I said. Listen, I will always say you're absolutely right to your own opinion. To me, I just feel as though if they're booing, you rise above it. I don't think there is. Yes, I personally, it's not my style. I think you should boo your own players, but I absolutely don't think you should be there swearing back at the fans, throwing your shirt on the floor. And like I said, for all those people defending Granit Xhaka, where was this energy for Alex Iwobi? I still ask the same question. Where was the same energy? Because it was worse for Iwobi. I'm not talking about online, no. I'll tell you what, he can rival Granit Xhaka online, but I'm talking about actually on the field. The Saul Alvarez fight, brother, think I've forgotten that as well? I know that fight is happening. I'm a boxing guy. So make sure you check that out. Me and Ola will cover it on Thursday. Honestly, Archie, me too. I'll be honest. I'm so glad that fight wasn't cancelled because I was crapping myself. I'll be watching Ozil like a hawk tomorrow. Don Juan in the house. The chat room heel, as I call him. I try, brother. I try. I'm not a bad man. Let's put it that way. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, then. Give me a second, Sonny. I will fix that. I will fix that whole situation. I'll fix that. Because I've got loads of DMs, but I haven't actually opened any from everybody though. See, there you go. That's some love right there. Play the Europa team there, fearless. Yeah. That they may have some guts. I still think they'll get smoked. Like I said, I think it'll be 4-1. That is my genuine prediction. To Liverpool, my dude. Let me make that clear. Yeah, fans were in the wrong. They were. But I expect more of Xhaka as the professional, as the captain. But that doesn't exonerate the fans. Speaking of which, Emre's on my TV right now. I think it must be the press conference. I listened to the main parts. I ain't gonna lie, I can't really stand at Emre press conference. At least with Arsene Wenger, I'll be honest. These were times I hated him, and I still would sit there and watch it, and he would say something that would make me think, okay. With Emre, I cannot even. I cannot even. Oh, do you? Okay, fair play. Fair. Well, like I say, Boots, that you're the exception to the rule. But I think there are loads of people who are very quickly defending Granit Xhaka. I don't remember Liverpool fans defending Alex Iwobi like that. I don't remember that. And I've had two in the last 24 hours come at me because I'm going at Granit Xhaka too hard. It's like, from Liverpool. You mean the same man that were defending Luis Suarez from being racist? No, I'm all right. Don't need that sort of advice. Thank you. Honestly, it's not that deep. His performance is what annoy me more than anything. He brings absolutely nothing. To me, to be honest with you, I didn't think Xhaka was that bad against Palace. I think he was all right. I don't think he was setting the world alight, but I think there were a lot worse people on the pitch. I think our front, to be fair, I thought Pepe was doing okay, but to me, I thought Aubameyang, I thought Lacazette were worse. So I actually thought the boos, if anything, were harsh. I thought weren't that bad. But then when he reacted like that, I thought, I just laughed. I thought, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. There you go. Just he doesn't have the temperament to be captain. And you know what? That's okay. Here's what it is. Human beings are not perfect. He just doesn't have the spirit to be it. And like I said, I've said it for some time. To me, there have been warning signs with Granit Xhaka. Whether it is the fact that he says that we were too weak. Sorry, we were too scared against Watford, or the fact that when he made a mistake against Tottenham, he started blaming the strikers rather than himself, or accept responsibility for his mistake. There have been warning signs. So Saturday, Sunday, whenever it was to happen, it shouldn't have been a surprise. Oh yeah, he is. But Leo, the reason that me and Ola call that show the Filthy Casual and the Hardcore Show is because, so when it comes to MMA, he's the hardcore guy. He's the hardcore MMA guy. When it comes to boxing, I'm the hardcore boxing fan. So it makes it nice and even. Although I say I'm a casual MMA guy, I know a little bit more than a casual. I know a little bit more than a casual. But I'm not going to start talking to you about MMA from different promotions. And I know about Bellator. I know about UFC. That's it. Occasional One News. That's it. I don't know about anything else. Yeah. Jack, let me tell you something. He's the loveliest guy. He's the loveliest guy in person. Him and his little boys were very, very cool. I'm waiting for that Ruiz Joshua fight. Boots, I ain't gonna lie. I am nervous as fuck for that fight. I really am. I'd rather focus on us winning cups no matter what anyone says, because I don't see us ending up in the top four. If we focus on the Europa League, we'll make the Champions League, but we'll likely get destroyed in it. I can't say I disagree necessarily. I could only imagine some player cursing fans in my country. He'd be expelled from the city at the same day. Do you know what I mean? Brother, you talk about your country. In Nigeria, you try telling people to fuck off during a football match in Nigeria and see if you last the hour. See if you last the hour. They have been trust me, by comparison, Arsenal fans weren't that bad. By comparison. Archie Clivert was quality. People defending Xhaka are the same people let. And there you go. And that is the unfiltered part right there. That is the unfiltered part. Uh, I don't want Mourinho either. I don't want Maureen. I really don't want Maureen. I hear people's argument, and to be honest with you, I think at least for 5 minutes, he will be able to get this team defending. But I think he will cause more destruction than good. I couldn't care less that he's insulted Wenger or my only two things are this. He's not great at developing young talent. You know, people want to point to Marcus Rashford and McTominay. It's like, all right, great, but you've been at like 4 or 5 clubs. If the best you could do is pick out two, you're struggling. So, you know, to me, I'm just like, yeah, he's probably not the person that I would want to replace Arsenal, to replace Emre. Even if I do want Emre gone, it ain't for Maureen. I think that's going to be a disaster. I'm not necessarily all the way convinced that Freddie's the right way to go either. But I would much rather that than Maureen. I must admit, I would. Because at least Freddie's there. He's getting a reaction out of the players now in live time. The only thing I wouldn't want us to do is employ Freddie permanently. If it's a quick fix, then great. Outside of that, but then somebody made this point the other day, and Ken answered it on Gooner Talk the other day, and that was Arsenal don't really have a history, even prior to Wenger, of sacking managers. The last time we did, halfway through a season, I mean, the last time we did was in the 80s. So we may need to write this out for the season. Just putting it out there. All right, guys, I'm going to do another 5 minutes and then I'm out of here. 5 minutes. G the PT's in the house. Straight. What I want to know is how someone called Granit is so soft. Real talk. Real talk. Favorite comment so far? All of his pointless fouls showered his stupidity. Chig, have you seen Inter go top of the league? Conte is doing what great managers. I will say this though. Conte has always loved Italy. And I think it's no big surprise that he's gone back to Italy and he's producing results. And I'll make a bigger statement. I think if Emre leaves Arsenal, he'll take someone like a Betis a real Betis or Betis. Why do I call it Betis? Betis, someone like that. And I bet he does well with them. It's your own country. You speak the language. You communicate better in that language. To me, it would not surprise me. Mind you, I would have had Conte before we got Emre because I could tell that Conte was a good coach. Chig, do you see the video of Cristiano Brown saying shit to our best player Uber for not signing autographs on the road? Silly girl, but sending fake stuff from Arsenal players. No, I've not. I must admit, actually, I've not. I'll look into that and talk more about that on the watch along tomorrow. I have not. Joshua will get revenge, otherwise his career is over. Career, my man, career. I think he could rebuild, but I think I actually agree with Barry Hearn, Eddie's dad. He basically said that if he was to lose against Ruiz, he'd probably have to go on like a 2-year hiatus from boxing, come back, get a big fight with someone like a Fury, someone like that, which I think he'd still be able to do. Because technically he would have only lost to one guy. So it's not a career ender. It's not like Askren. Like Ben Askren, to me, I mean, if you know your MMA, I'm assuming you do done one. See, to me, that one's more of a critical situation because he came to UFC, he barely won his first fight, and people don't really believe he won that first fight against Lawler. It was more kind of rewarded to him. He gets knocked out in meta quick time by Jorge. And then he gets a real lesson this past weekend. That one to me is more of a career ender. If even if AJ was to lose again to Ruiz, yeah, it wouldn't be great. But I think a year away from the sport, year and a half away from the sport, it will come back in a big fight. Maybe if he can pick up a title, I think he'd be fine. The only thing about it is, rather than kick on and have a Lennox Lewis type career, he may end up having more of a Frank Bruno type of career. Yeah, people tend to lean one way or another, Boots. I must admit, I've always been a boxing fan since I was very, very young. So I don't disagree with you. But lately I'm loving MMA. Loving it. J Rob in the house, big up to you, J Rob. We'll get through this, people. Don't worry. There's some positivity. You know what? Let's leave that up for a while. Thank you for the donation as well, mate. Much appreciated. Look at that positivity right there. J Rob. Terrera is supposed to be our midfield shield and doesn't stop crying. We're rinsing him for this crying thing. No, Chick's not a fan of MMA. Okay, so you wouldn't have understood the reference I just gave you, but fair enough. Divan Nakum, good evening. That's all we've learned from Emre. He's got his hair trimmed after Sunday. How dare he fix his hair, but not the captaincy issue. Sorry, J-Rob, you've been trumped. I love this comment right here. Not to mention his teeth. People still forget that. He had his teeth done as well. Fury would beat AJ 7 days a week, twice on a Sunday. Oh, we know you're a Fury fan. Because you think I don't know where that quote comes from? Yeah, 1 or 2 losses ain't the end of the world of career. I mean, how many fights did Ali lose? Exactly. Sugar Ray Robertson lost a few fights as well. People rarely go undefeated. Rarely. We should go. Do you know what I mean? All right, guys. I'm out of it. This was supposed to be a preview, so it's extended quite long. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please do stick a like on this video. I'm about to get out of here. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a watch along with Lee. So please do go check that out. Check out my YouTube channel, Chick Flicks. I've recorded a lot of material on there. I wanted to try and put an intro, outro on there, which is why I've not put it onto the channel. But I've done a lot of banners and lots of recordings and seen lots of films over the weekend. So do go subscribe to that. Very close to 100 subscribers on that channel. Do go help me get to that. I'm going to be sticking reviews. I've got a Zombieland review, Zombieland 2 review done. I've got a Terminator Dark Fate. Got that review done. Go check that out. And I'll be putting those on in the next couple of days. I've also seen a lot of retro movies. I've done a lot of movies. So I've seen Pulp Fiction again very recently. I've done a review on that. So all of those things, I'm so excited by what I'm going to do with that channel. Because I could do so much more with that than I can with this. And I love doing this. This is my passion. This is what brought me to the dance. But the things I'm going to do on that channel, and yes, you damn right, I haven't seen it yet. The Irishman review is coming, though. It's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So please do go check that out. Chigflix, CHIGFLIX. All one word. Go subscribe. Go check that out. I'll be back tomorrow for the watch along, and I'll be back on this channel for the review and player ratings when we inevitably get smashed. So do go check that out. In the meantime, I'm out of here, people. Enjoy your night. Take care. Deuces. And yes, I do believe it is on Netflix. All right. I'm out. Peace.